What's next? What are you working on now? What you can tell me.
Oh, well, right now I'm working on 3 different projects. I'm writing a ultra low budget sci-fi thriller with my friend Jim Shea, who is my vice chairman for the network, while I was chairman. He's a producer and writer and director, and he had an idea for a low budget sci-fi thriller and asked me to help him write it. So we're working on that together. Just about have the script locked, so he's starting to go out to the money people probably in the next month or so. Hopefully, and he wants to shoot it this year, so hopefully that'll happen. Then I'm working on a big budget sci-fi script with one of our former speakers in the network.
Really?
I'd rather not say his name.
No, don't.
But we'd kept in touch, and he was too busy to write this. It was an idea of his, and he said, "Can you help me write it?" And it's like, "Sure." So we're working on that, and then I'm working on something for myself, a potential original superhero franchise that I came up with. So,
nice.
And then just, trying to get my other scripts out there. I currently have an agent who's representing me, and so we're just trying to get my stuff out there. I've got some stuff close to happening, and right before the writer's strike hit, he had a company really interested in one of my scripts, and the strike hit, and now they're not as interested anymore, unfortunately. But these things happen. In this business, you got to roll with the punches.
Yes.
And the people who can do that, and just persevere and
tenacity.
Exactly, tenacity, perseverance. And not being bitter about anything, making friends and keeping those friends and not pissing off too many people. I mean, it's inevitable you're going to do that to somebody, but if you can keep that to a minimum and let people know that you're a good person to work with, you can have a really good career in this town.
Awesome, very cool. All right, let's talk a little bit about format. Let's talk about the look on the page.
I am a format wonk. So
are you really?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm
a stickler for format. I mean, I'm probably not up on all the news. The format is constantly changing.
Yes.
I try to keep as up to date as I can, but I also have things that I like that I keep doing, and nobody's yelled at me for it, so I keep doing them. But no, I am very much, as much white space on the page as you can get. I actually teach a class on how to trim your exposition down to the bare minimum. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was from 2 screenwriting friends of mine, Carrie Solomon and Chuck Konzelman. They, I think that's their name. They have their own company. They've written a lot of TV movies and features and stuff. But they came to an event that I was at and just rattled off these 10 most common mistakes that screenwriters do. And I forgot which number it was, but the one that really stuck out to me was overwriting. We're all taught how to write prose in high school and college, and I see this in almost every screenwriter. I've read, being a consultant as I have for like 12 years, I've read many first-time scripts. And it is probably the most common mistake that I see is people writing it like a novel, writing the description, trying to cram in everything they can. Scripts are a completely different animal. The shorter you can make the description and the punchier and the more visual you can make it, the better the more it looks like a real script and the more people will pay attention to you. I can't remember exactly how they said it, but it really hit me. I went home, like I was saying earlier, the very first script I ever wrote, I'd been rewriting it. It actually won the network's Producers Outreach program.
Nice.
And I'd been getting some really good reads on it, but still nothing happening. I went home, I took that script, I rewrote it based on what I'd heard from Chuck and Carrie. Just literally short, punchy sentences, taking out as many, adverbs and adjectives as I could, taking out pronouns. You don't even need that. You can just start with a verb. It's the shorter the better. I went home, rewrote that script in that format. I had an opportunity to send the script to a manager, sent it to her, she signed me on the spot.
Did you lose pages?
A little bit. It got a little shorter, but not too much. It really didn't. Because the other thing to do is, break it up into paragraphs. The standard these days, and it's getting shorter, I think, is that your paragraphs can be no longer than 4 lines. Now it's getting down to, I'm hearing 3, yeah. So the shorter the paragraphs, the better. So the more white space you have, the better. So it actually didn't change the page length that much.
Interesting.
But that same script, my other great story is how I got my first Sci-Fi Channel gig. I got an email totally out of the blue, right about the same time, from this guy who'd been a longtime member of the network. He actually was another former Producers Outreach winner, who was working for a company making films for the Sci-Fi Channel.
Nice.
And he said, we have an open assignment, and I used to sit in the back, and this is a man I'd never met, I'd never spoken to, ever. He said, I just used to sit in the meetings, and you were always so positive, because before all the meetings, I would get up and introduce the speaker and do the announcements, and I've always tried to project a positive image and project for the network and for myself, and I'm a very positive person as by nature. And he just said, I loved how positive you were, and you helped pull me through some dark times, and I decided if I could ever help you, I was going to. So
beautiful.
he basically handed me this on a platter.
Wow.
But I had to submit a script, so I submitted the script that I just rewritten in this new format, and they hired me on the spot.
Serendipity.
And I ended up doing 3 projects for them.
Nice.
Two of which got made and are doing quite well on home video now. So
cool.
So yeah, I'm very much a stickler. Short, punchy sentences, lots of white space, keep the exposition to a minimum. All those things.